Lesson 9-4, page 304. For this lesson, we're going to learn area of a rectangle, area of a square, just area. For area, boys and girls, always remember the formula area equals length times width. We're only using two dimensions, the length and the width. The length is usually the longer part, the width is the shorter part, but it doesn't matter because 3 times 2 is always 5, or 2 times 3 will also, 3 times 2 is 6, or 2 times 3 is 6. It doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in. For square A, we see that we have a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our unit is centimeters. Okay, so we have a length of 5 and a width of 1, 2. Okay, centimeters. So go ahead and fill in that information. Here they're calling it base, and here they're calling it height, which is the same as length times width. I've explained this before in class. And I want you to go ahead and write down what your length is and what your width is. Right down here. Okay? Now, as I explained before, use the formula area equal length times width. Our length, now we replace the variable, so we say area, our length is 5 and our width is 2. So our area will equal, what's 5 times 2? 10. Don't forget, very, very important, to write the unit, centimeter square. It's 2 dimensions, 1 and 2, so let's include the 2 dimensions by writing the square. Going back to our example, please do the same with square B. And for square C, you see that it's a square. This one was a rectangle, but for square C, notice that we have 1, 2, and then exactly a half. So that's 2.5 by 1, 2, and exactly a half again. A half of this square. Okay? I understand that some of you are thinking that this is only a quarter. Right here is a quarter of this square. But it's supposed to be a half of a half. It's the halves that go this way and the halves that go this way. So technically, if we count the squares this way, I have 1, 2 and a half. And if I count them down this way, I have 1, 2 and a half. So our dimensions there would be 2.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. Okay? Now you can multiply them as 2.5 times 2.5, and in your answer, make sure that you count how many numbers you have to jump to get back to the decimal. So 1, 2. 1, 2. And, or you can simply do it as we've done it in class, where you write 2.5 times 2.5. Many of you are very good at multiplying fractions. You could also do it like this. Don't forget that in your answer, you must include units squared, centimeters squared. On page 305, we have to find the area of the floor of a bedroom. Go ahead and use what you have here, the information, and solve it on your own. You have 12 feet by 15 feet. So I'm assuming that each little square is considered 1 foot. Okay, so go ahead and solve that. Use this and read it carefully to solve your answer here as well. This will be one that we check in the classroom. On the second part of the page, we're asked to find the area for irregular shapes. As you can see here, in question A, we have this large rectangle and it's lost this part of it. Now you can do this two different ways. You can solve the entire rectangle by length times width, which would be 6 here plus another 6 here, so it would be 12. You see, there's 6 there and 6 there, which is this, but represented here. This would be 12, and this would be 9, so 9 times 12. But then you would have to subtract this from the answer, which is 6 times 6, to get this area. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to solve for this and solve for this, and then add them up. For example, this is 9 by 6. This is 3 by 6. You can see it here, 3 by 6. Okay, so you would have two equations. You solve for this one and you solve for this one. Volume equals length times width. Replace the variable. Volume equals 9 times 12. What I have done is I'm going to solve for the entire rectangle. 9 times 12. I understand that this is 12 because I know that this wall here is 6 and the remainder is also 6. As you can see, it's written over here. 6. Volume equals 108. Now that's the answer for the entire rectangle. I need to lose this area. I need to take this area out because it's not part of the area I'm looking for. And I understand that in order, this area in here is 6 by 6. What's 6 times 6? If you said 36, you are correct. I am going to subtract that from my entire answer. And the reason I'm subtracting it is because it's like I'm taking this chunk out. I'm taking a bite out of this rectangular cookie. I need to take it out. And I understand the size of that bite is 36. So I'm going to subtract it from the entire thing. And my volume equals 72 yards squared. Don't forget the unit. Always very important. Go ahead and solve B on both sides and A, the remaining ones. Take a look at question 4A. Here you are asked to fill in the missing dimensions. What number do I have to multiply 12 into to get 360? Also, sometimes you're able to solve it by the grid. Okay? If I have 2 squares there, and that equals 12. Okay, so how much is each square? And then, let's see if that works. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. If I multiply 12 times 30, will I get 360? Go ahead and figure that out. For page 306, I'd like you to complete it on your own. You have to read carefully and understand that you are doing fractions, or you're dividing fractions. Okay? Division. For division, remember to always flip the second fraction. Okay, let's say we have Liz, Juan, and Michael, and it says that they equally shared 9/12 of a pizza. So they equally shared 9/12 of a pizza. I hope you know this can be reduced, but let's work with it just the way it is. This can be simplified to 3/4. You would continue by writing, it's been divided into 3 people, 1, 2, 3. So divide it by 3. Turn the whole number into a fraction by placing it over 1. And now we have to multiply. We flip the second fraction right here into 1 over 3. Okay? Like this. 1 over 3. And we change this to a multiplication. And when we multiply, you have to cross-reference. Okay, we can cross-reference the 9 with the 3. There's 1 here and 3 of them here. And then multiply directly across. Okay, boys and girls, we will check this page tomorrow in class. See you then.